Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the IACast. All right, my name is Michael Dowies, and I am solo again. And I was trying to make a tech joke out of that, and that's why I kind of paused, but nothing came up, so we'll just go from here. So we've had a lot of announcements since we've done an episode of the IACast. We've had some tech come out, a little bit to unpack here. had to make that joke. But basically, we had the Samsung event this last week and the announcement for the Vision Pro has come out. And we got some interesting information. I won't go into all the details, like the bands and the glasses and all those kind of things, but I do want to talk about what was announced and what we've got. So it's really cool stuff. And we have folks in our Discord chat. So if you guys want to chime in and ask questions, I will be on the lookout for those. And yeah, it's a new year. We've got new content, cool stuff, and all of that. So what was announced? Let's start with Samsung, because we typically do Apple stuff, but we have all kinds of great Samsung announcements from Unpacked. And this is always the time where they announce the S20X series. So this one was the S24. We got the S24, S24 Plus, and I believe the Ultra. I know the Ultra, but I don't think there's another one in between there. I think it's 3 models, and I like to call these the iPhone edition of the Samsung phones. And the reason is that, well, they look like iPhones. They've squared off the edges, and they have basically made it to where the phone looks like an iPhone. Like titanium corners or rims for the Ultra and all of that, and matte colored sides instead of the glossy, and so means less fingerprints. And they've done a lot with changing the design of this. There's a lot more. It's more AI features on the inside, like you can use Google Lens on images and items in real life, circle things and look them up on Google, things like that. And I feel like it's cool. It's really neat, but I don't know how practical it is. So I mean, it's going to be cool. A lot of people are going to use it, but a lot of features are moving from the Pixel to Samsung, and that's great. So we'll see what we get. And but a lot of these features are going to previous Samsung phones too. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see where Samsung goes in the future. And if you tune into the latest episode of Technically Working, Michael and Damasi talk about a theory that maybe Google may get out of the phone lineup and use Samsung, for their phones. But who knows? Who knows? All I know is that Android is things change on Android all the time, and you never know where it's going to be from day to day. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think Samsung is the most stable, I would say, out of all the Android development companies, compared to, it's more popular than even the Pixel. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see where what happens there. Going back to this, there's a yellow S24. There's I think violet, a kind of a gray, kind of a titanium gray look on the Ultra, and one other one like silver, I think. They look nice. I don't know. I don't like all these muted colors on phones. I like the iPhone 13 in blue was my favorite shade of blue on an iPhone. That thing is great, and I have one. as a tester phone. But I just think that I think people think phones are getting boring, and we'll see where they go in the future, right? But at the current time, I think a lot of people think phones are getting boring. And every year that Samsung has put out an announcement, I always hear people say, if you got the S21, don't upgrade to the S22. If you got the S22, don't upgrade to the S23. If you have the S23, don't upgrade to the S24. When does it stop? When does it like, oh man, I've got to have this phone. This is the phone, right? They do come with the S Pen, which is cool. And they have a lot of great features, more AI this year, new Snapdragon chip. But I don't know. It's just kind of a interesting thing. We'll see where they go with the new phones. And of course, later on in the year, they have their other phones like the fold and flip phones that they always announce. So we'll see where they go with those as well this year. I think Apple announces their phone, then Samsung announces theirs, and we just kind of go back and forth. I think iPhone and Samsung are kind of the ones that are at the top of the totem pole, as they say, the top of the hill, right? So we'll see what other phone manufacturers do. The next thing I wanted to bring up for the podcast is the Vision Pro. Now, everybody's like, oh, here we go, an Apple topic. But this is a topic I'm very passionate about. And the reason is I've tried many different headsets out there that are for the blind and low vision, and they really do help me out a lot. They allow me to see much better, be able to look out at the environment, all those things. Right. And so it's really helpful to be able to use these things, but there's always drawbacks to them, right? The drawback is that they take 2 or 3 minutes to power on, and then to use takes a while. So it's not like it's an easy thing to just like, oh, I want to get the shot of those birds over there. I want to get a look at that building. I want to get, to see that thing. And I'm thinking that Vision Pro will allow me to view the environment in a way that I have not been able to do before. Basically, wait all this time to get that good shot. If you're looking at something, you just don't get a good angle or get a good shot because that thing might be gone by the time you get the glasses powered on. And so that's what I'm kind of hoping with the Vision Pro is that with the Vision Pro, I'm with the way they built this thing's where you need a battery pack. I'm hoping that you could just hook up the battery, press a button, and it's there. Although with how long it takes iOS to boot, my hopes and dreams might be, ruined. I want to go and try this at the store, right? But even with that, there's apps and all these things that you can run with the Vision Pro. So that makes it a little different from these other specialized headsets, right? So that's why I'm really interested in this because it's a way to use these glasses in more than just magnification. And let's be real, some of these assistive technology devices like the Orcam or the Patriot Viewpoint or eSight, folks, is more expensive than the Vision Pro and does less. Think about that. It does less than what the Vision Pro can do. So I think that's worth keeping in mind that you are paying a lot of money, but people pay this kind of money for assistive technology all the time. So the interesting thing that I want to point out, though, I thought that the Vision Pro would be an extender for your iPhone, but it is not. The Vision Pro is actually its own little computer. The reason why that's interesting is the fact that the Vision Pro has where you select a amount of space when you buy it. So it starts with 256 gig, goes to 512 and a terabyte. Now, 256 is great, but with spatial video, I'm going to need more. So you can add that for $100 each more. So by the time and extra batteries are $199 for this thing. So it'd be nice though if you could just buy like a charge cable for it and then use it with other battery packs. So that might be an option too. So if you have battery packs around, maybe they'll work for it. So we'll see. I'm going to have loads of questions at the Apple Store when I go to view this thing. And it's, starts at $3,500 and all of that good stuff. So what I'm excited about too is that all the bands come in the box for it, and they measure your face with the Apple Store app to figure out what size you should use, what size of light seal you should use. For a lot of folks, that won't matter, but that will also help it fit on your face. So that's why you do want to do this. And that process is accessible with VoiceOver, folks. I did it in the Apple Store app. It is completely accessible, so you don't have to worry about that. Really cool stuff. Vision Pro is one device that I'm very excited about, and I cannot wait for the chance to try it out and to bring one home. Now, the last thing I want to talk about today, and I want to bring people back to have a discussion on all three of these things. Since it's just me, I wanted to make sure we had an episode. But the last thing I wanted to mention is all of the hype around the Rabbit R1. And that was a new device announced at CES or before. They had 10,000 units and all of them were purchased the same day. Now, what makes this thing so interesting is the fact that it has actionable GPT agents that can run actions in your app. What that means is you can connect your apps, like your music apps and all those things. And, like you could basically do like Shazam and then tell it to add that to your Apple Music or Spotify library without doing any action on your phone, right? It has its own hardware. It has its own operating system. All of these things are very interesting. But again, that kind of comes down to, does it work? Does it work as it's advertised? Right? So that's the key there. Does it work as advertised? Does it do what it's supposed to do? So I've heard great things about it, but I would want to try it out before I, bought one. I don't remember the price of these things, but it's a neat concept. And I think it's where we're going to see things go with GPT and AI, is where instead of just getting text back from AI, you'll be able to have actionable results from the use of AI. And I think that's where we're going to move to with this stuff in the future, is instead of just getting text results, we get actual results. Like it will be more that digital assistant that S Lady, A Lady, and all the others should have been doing for a long time. All right, it's going to be a short episode today, but basically we're going to be back next week with more content, and that'll be the week before the Vision Pro comes out. So the week after that, we will be talking about it on the show. My pick for this time, let's see. I think I'm going to pick the Echo series on Disney Plus from Marvel Echo. I've only seen the first episode, but it's been great. I've enjoyed it a lot. So that is going to be my pick. Hopefully I didn't pick that last time. That would be terrible. And I know I've been using other tech, but that's kind of what I need to finish that show. And so this will give me a reason to go finish it. So you can find me online as Mike Dowies at techopolis.social on Mastodon. I'm Mike Dowies on X. You can email me at mikedowies@techopolis.online, or, well, that is one, but mikedowies@icloud.com works. I don't know why I use my business one. But you can also find me all over the web. You can just search for me. We are doing a few new things with the IACast. So if you go to iacast.net/plus, you can sign up for a free membership or support the show or shows, however many of them you want to support. And that way you can let people know that you appreciate the content. And if you join any of our IACast plans, you can join the community here on Discord and actually come in with others and chat. So I'm on a Discord stage right now with two awesome people, and they can chat while we're doing the show. So yeah, it's a very neat way to engage our audience during the show. And we're also doing IACast Radio, which is going to YouTube and all those things. So we're in so many different places, and we want to make it to where it's easiest for you to listen. So check it out, iacast.net/plus. Join the free plan or create a paid account and help support the shows. Thank you so much for listening to this latest episode. We'll be back very soon, hopefully next week, with our panel, and we will talk to you all then. Thank you so much, everybody, and see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the IACast. We hope you enjoyed the show and found the conversation to be insightful and informative. If you have any feedback or comments, we'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email at feedback@iacast.net. You can also follow us on Twitter at IACast Network to stay informed about new episodes and other updates. Don't forget to check out more great podcasts on the IACast Network, iacast.net. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again soon.